So the performance paradox is the counterintuitive phenomenon that if we solely fixate on performing, our performance suffers. So if we're just trying to perform, we actually don't perform as well. And so what does that mean? If it helps to kind of get out of our context, in our everyday context, and examine what fantastic people do, the most competent people in the world in domains where competence can be objectively measured. How do they become so good and how do they perform so well? So if you look at athletes or performing arts or people who play chess, the way we tend to think that the way that people become good at what they do is by spending a lot of time doing that activity. Like if we just, play chess for 10 years, we'll be really good at chess. So if we play tennis for 10 years, we'll become very good at tennis. But that's not how improvement happens. That's not how we increase our performance. So if you think about, for example, an athlete who is playing a championship final, if you're having trouble with a particular move, you're going to avoid that move during that match. Because you want to win. But after the game, you're going to go to your coach and say, Coach, I have to work on this particular move. And that's a very different activity, very different area of attention and focus than what we do during the game. And the reason these people become so competent and so expert and so good is that it's because of how they engage in what I call the learning zone, which is when we're going beyond the known and being deliberate about improvement rather than trying to just get things done as best as we know how, trying to minimize mistakes, which actually is what most of us are doing most of the time, right? In our work, in our personal lives, we are most of the time just worried about or concerned about getting things done as best as we know how, trying to minimize mistakes. And that leads to improvement when we're novices, when we don't know very much. If we just try, we'll get better over time. But then once we get proficient, we stagnate. And so in order to continue improving and become fantastic at something, we have to be doing things in a way that's also going to lead to improvement. And that's different than just doing things.